Dear students, welcome to session 8 of Operating System Principles. In this session, we are going to study about what are threads, what is the difference between process and thread, what is multi-threading, what are the benefits offered by multi-threaded programming, and the different types of threads. So, thread can be defined as a flow of execution through the process code. So, means you can define thread as flow of execution through the process code. Whenever a process is executing, so whatever flow is associated with that process can be considered as a thread. It uses program counter that keeps track of which instruction to execute next, system registers which hold its current working variables, and a stack which contains the execution history. So usually a thread it uses program counter, second one it uses system registers, and third one it uses stack. A thread shares with its peer threads few information like code segment, data segment, open files. Suppose if there are two or more threads are running, then one thread can exchange information with another thread. This information can be in the form of code segment, data segment, and open files. When one thread alter a code segment memory item, all other threads see that. Means if one thread is changing something in a data segment, all the changes whatever happened, all other threads going to see the same changes which are took place. A thread is also called a lightweight process. Thread provide a way to improve application performance through parallelism. Parallelism means running at the same time. So if you run multiple threads at the same time, it will improve the application performance. Threads represent a software approach to improving performance of operating system by reducing the overhead. Thread is equivalent to a classical process. Each thread belongs to exactly one process and no thread can exist outside a process. Means for every process there will be one thread. You cannot say that one thread is associated with more than two processes. Each thread represents a separate flow of control. Threads have been successfully used in implementing network servers and web servers. So where the threads are used, they can be used in network servers and web servers. These are the application which will make use of internet, and in running the application with respect to the web server and network servers, threads are used. They also provide a suitable foundation for parallel execution of applications on shared memory multiprocessors. A following figure shows the working of single-threaded and multi-threaded process. So here we can see single versus multi-threaded process. So on the left hand side you have a single process, on the right hand side you have a multi-threaded process. So here you can see, as I told you, thread contains the details about register, program counter, stack, and it can exchange data segment and files. Then you have a code, the same thing is there, but how many threads are there, those many registers, those many program counters, and those many stacks will be present. So on the right hand side you can see there are three threads. That's why you can see three registers, three counters, and three stacks. So difference between process and thread. So left hand side there is a process, right hand side there is a thread. So the first difference is process is heavyweight or resource intensive, whereas thread is lightweight, taking lesser resources than a process. Means for process we need more resources, that's why it becomes heavy, that's why it is called as heavyweight. whereas thread makes use of less resources. That's why you can call it as a lightweight. Second one, process switching needs interaction with the operating system, whereas thread switching does not need interacting with the operating system. Means as we already discussed, process goes through different states, and if it is switching from one state to another state, it will interact with the operating system, whereas thread do not communicate with the operating system. Third one, in multiple processing environment, each process executes the same code but has its own memory and file resources. All threads can share same set of open files and chat processes. So here the processes do not share same set of open files, whereas threads will share same set of open files. Fourth one, if one process is blocked, then no other process can execute until the first process is unblocked. With one thread is blocked and waiting, a second thread in the same task can run. What happens with processes if one thread is blocked? Unless a first thread which is blocked is not unblocked, you cannot run any other processes. Whereas if one thread is blocked, you can run another thread. Fifth one, multiple processes without using threads use more resources. Multiple threaded processes use fewer resources. In multiple processes, each process operates independently of the others. One thread can read, write, or change another thread's data. What do you mean by this is, if there are two or more processes are running, they will run independently. Means one process do not interfere with other process, whereas if there are more than one thread is running, one thread can exchange the information, they can read, write to another thread's data. So these are the differences between process and thread. Next one is multi-threading. Multi-threading is the phenomenon of executing more than a thread in the system concurrently. Means if you are executing more than one thread, that a concept is considered as multi-threading. Most software applications that run on modern computers are multi-threaded. Nowadays, whatever applications we see in the market or which will be running on the computer, all are multi-threaded. An application typically is implemented as a separate process with several threads of control. For example, a web browser might have one thread display images or text, while another thread retrieves data from the network. So here you can see one example of web browser where one thread will display the images, whereas another thread will retrieve the data from the network. A word processor may have a thread for displaying graphics, another thread for responding to the keystrokes from the user, and a third thread for performing spelling and grammar checking in the background. This is a typical example of Windows Microsoft Office, where if you are using the Microsoft Word, at the same time you can perform multiple tasks. One is you can display the graphics such as you can add the font size, colors, images. At the same time, if you're typing something, uh, and once typing is over, at the same time you may check for the spellings and grammar mistakes. It is generally more efficient to use one process that contains multiple threads. If the web server process is multi-threaded, the server will create a separate thread that listens for client's requests. Means if you are running a web-based application, so you will be using a web server. The server will create separate thread that will listen for client requests. So what happens? It is a client server mechanism. If a client sends the requests, those requests are processed by the server. So all these requests are listened by the threads. When a request is made, rather than creating another process, the server creates a new thread to service the request to resume listening for additional requests. This is illustrated in this diagram. We can see here there is a client, there is a server, and there is a thread. Client request for some operation to be performed, then that request is transferred to server. Second, what happens? Create a new thread to service the request. So what server does is it will create a thread so that the client request can be processed. And third, what happens? Resume listening for additional client's request. What happens is client can keep on requesting for the data or for the performing operations. How many requests the clients are sending, those many threads will be created, and the server will keep uh, listening for additional requests from the clients, and it will keep serving the request. So this is a multi-threaded server architecture. Threads also play a vital role in remote procedure calls. Remote procedure calls allows inter-process communication by providing a communication mechanism similar to ordinary functions or procedure calls. Typically, remote procedure call servers are multi-threaded. When a server receives a message, it serves the message using separate thread. So this is a application with respect to the servers. A server will be keep getting the request from multiple clients. So where how many requests it is receiving, for those many requests it will create separate threads. This allows the servers to service several concurrent requests. That's why it is possible for the server so that it can respond to multiple requests at the same time. For example, if the university results are declared, then n number of students will start accessing the data which is stored on the university database. So for every student who wish to see his results will be assigned one thread. So that's why it is possible for the web server to process multiple students requests. Most operating system kernels are now multi-threaded. Several threads operate in the kernel, and each thread performs a specific task such as managing devices, managing memory, or interrupt handling. So these are the tasks which are performed by the threads such as managing devices, managing memory, and interrupt handling. For example, Solaris operating system has a set of threads in the kernel specifically for interrupt handling. Linux uses a kernel thread for managing the amount of free memory in the system. So on Solaris there are threads which will take care of interrupt handling. Interrupt handling means suppose if there is a request for the input output operations, so it will raise an interrupt so that ongoing operations will be blocked for some time, and it will wait until that input output operation is completed. Similarly, on Linux you will find a thread which will keep track of how much amount of free memory is available in the system. Next concept is benefits of threads. So the first benefit is enhanced throughput of the system. When the process is split into many threads and each thread is treated as job, the number of jobs done in the unit time increases. That is why the throughput of the system also increases. Second one, effective utilization of multiprocessor system. When you have more than one thread in one process, you can schedule more than one thread in more than one processor. It means you are taking maximum utilization of the processor, means you are never keeping the processor idle because a process is divided into multiple threads. So always there is one or other thread will be assigned to a processor. Third one, faster context switch. The context switching period between threads is less than the process context switching. The process context switch means more overhead for the CPU. Context switching means switching from one state to another state. So it will a process will take more time, whereas the threads will take less time. Responsiveness. When the process is split into several threads, and when a thread completes its execution, that process can be responded to as soon as possible. So if you are using the threads, you can have good response time. Next one is communication. Multiple thread communication is simple because the threads share the same address space. Just now we have seen the differences. That time I have discussed that all the threads share the same address space, while in process they do not share the same address space. So we adopt a exclusive communication strategy for communication between two processes. Next one is sharing resources. Resources can be shared between all the threads within a process, such as code, data, and files. Note that the stack and register cannot be shared between threads. There are stack and registers for each thread. In the single threaded and multi-threaded processes, we have seen that for every thread there is a register, counter, and stack, but data and code will remain same for all the threads. So this means that all the threads share a common code and data. Next one is types of threads. Threads are implemented in two ways. One is user level threads, which are managed by the users, and second one is kernel level threads, which are managed by the operating system. First one will see what are user level threads. In this case, the thread management kernel is not aware of the existence of threads. The thread library contains code for creating and destroying threads, for passing message and data between threads, for scheduling thread execution, and for saving and restoring thread contexts. The application starts with a single thread. So this is a diagram for user level threads. You can see in the user process you will have a thread library associated for every thread, and there is a kernel space, and you will find there is a processor below your kernel space. The advantages and disadvantages of user level threads are: first we'll see advantages. Thread switching does not require kernel mode privileges. Means if one thread want to switch from another thread, then it does not require any permission from the kernel. User level threads can run on any operating system. Means portability. If you are running on Windows XP, the same can be run on Linux. Scheduling can be application specific in the user level thread. So if you want to schedule a process, then it becomes application specific. User level threads are fast to create and manage. Means as there is no much more involvement of kernel, this can be created faster and it can be easily managed. Disadvantages: in a typical operating system, most system calls are blocking. Multi-threaded application cannot take advantages of multi-processing. So these are the two disadvantages of this user level threads. Next one is second type is kernel level threads. In this case, thread management is done by the kernel. There is no thread management code in the application area. The kernel threads are supported directly by the operating system. Any application can be programmed to be multi-threaded. All of the threads within an application are supported within a single process. So here the thread management is done by the kernel, whereas in user level threads, the thread management is carried out by the user. The kernel maintains context information for the process as a whole and for individual threads within the process. Scheduling by the kernel is done on the thread basis. The kernel performs thread creation, scheduling, and management in the kernel space. Kernel threads are generally slower to create and manage than user threads. So these are the advantages of kernel level threads. Kernel can simultaneously schedule multiple threads from the same process on multiple processes. Means it can simultaneously can run multiple threads at the same time for a same process. If one thread in a process is blocked, the kernel can schedule another thread of same process. As I told you, one process can have multiple threads. If one thread is blocked for that particular process, then at the same time you can start executing another thread for that same process. Kernel routines themselves can be multi-threaded, means whatever operations carried out by the kernel can be multi-threaded. Disadvantages: kernel threads are generally slower to create and manage than the user threads. Transfer of control from one thread to another thread within the same process requires a mode switch to the kernel. Means in user level threads, a thread can easily switch from one thread to another, but in kernel level thread, it is very difficult for one thread to switch to another thread because it requires mode switch to the kernel. So these are the key differences between user level and kernel level threads. First one is user level threads are faster to create and manage, whereas kernel level threads are slower to create and manage. Second one, implementation is by thread library at the user level. So these are implemented by thread library, whereas kernel level threads, operating system supports creation of kernel threads. Third one, user level thread is generic and can run on any operating system. Kernel level threads are uh, operating system specific and these cannot be run on all operating systems. Fourth one, multi-threaded applications cannot take advantage of multiprocessing, whereas kernel routing themselves can be multi-threaded. So we have come to the end of today's session. Let us summarize. We have started with what is thread. Thread is nothing but flow of execution for a process. Then we have seen uh, differences between process and thread. Then we have seen what is multi-threading is nothing but having multiple flow of control for a process is known as multi-threading. Different benefits of multi-threaded programming we have seen, and finally we have seen different types of threads such as user level threads and kernel level threads. Along with that, we have seen what are the key differences between user level threads and kernel level threads. Thank you.